Welcome back to the Magic Study. Today, I want to talk to you about how I don't do magic. What I mean by that is I've had people accuse me of using mirrors, my sleeves, trap doors, camera tricks. I don't use any of that stuff. I've also had them accuse me of using marked cards, and I promise you, I have never used marked cards in a magic trick. However, in full disclosure, I do own a deck of marked cards, but I'm going to show those to you today, and I'm going to teach you how to read them so that in the future, if I ever decide to use them, you'll catch me right away. Now, there is a difference between a magician's marked deck and a gambler's marked deck. The first thing that we need to do is get rid of the jokers, because the jokers aren't marked. Let's see, there should be two. There's another one. Okay, we'll get rid of those. We don't need them. The second thing I need to do is explain to you the differences between a gambler's marked deck and a magician's marked deck. Okay, a gambler's marked deck is marked in the four corners, all four corners. And the reason he does that is if he's playing cards with the left-handed player, they may spread their cards to the left, and he needs to be able to see that corner. And if he's playing with a right-handed person, he needs to be able to see that corner. So he needs to mark both corners. And likewise, if the deck should get turned around, he needs to be able to read from this end as well as this end. Now, the disadvantage to a gambler's marked deck is that it's marked in all four corners. That's 4 opportunities that he can get caught. Now, a magician's marked deck only has 1 mark, but it's a big one. It takes up the entire back of the card. But that means he doesn't have to worry about which way the cards are spread or which way they're turned. He'll be able to read them no matter what condition the cards are in. It also has another big advantage. He can read the mark from across the room. For instance, I can tell you just by looking at the back that this is the 2 of spades. And if I were to have you select a card, and I ran through the cards, and I turn my head so that I can't see, and you say stop at any time, and if you were to stop right there, okay, right now I don't know what your card is. But the minute that I turn around, I can tell you that's the 6 of spades, just by looking at the back. Now, the card that's the easiest to find from the face is the ace of spades. Not the 8 of spades, the ace of spades, because it has such a large spade that covers the entire face of the deck. Well, I'm going to run through these cards again, and I want you to look for the ace of spades from the face. I'll look for it from the back, and we'll see who gets there first. Stop right there, the ace of spades. It actually shows up better on the back than it does on the front. Now, if I were to ask you what card this was, you wouldn't be able to tell me that it's the 4 of diamonds, because I haven't taught you how to read the marks yet. But I'm going to do that right now. Out of these 4 cards, the one that's marked the best is the one that you stopped me on. You remember what it was? The 6 of spades. You know, you can clearly see it's the 6 of spades from this side, but can you see the mark on this side? If you can't see that one, then the other 3 aren't going to show up well at all. But once I teach you how to read these marks, you'll be able to read every card in the deck. And here's the secret. You see that 4 right there? If you squint just the right amount, that 4 becomes blurry. Then the marks on the backs of the cards will become apparent to you. A 2, that's another good one. If you squint into that 2, you can't read it. Maybe it'll look like a 3. That means you're squinting just the right amount. Well, there's another 2. But you get the picture. So if you squint for me until you can barely see the numbers on the cards, then you're going to be able to see the mark on the back of the card. Are you ready? Now, I don't know if you can see that or not. Some people can, some people can't. But that says 6 of spades. If you can't see it, you're not squinting properly. Now, the nice thing about this marked deck is once you know the system and once you see it, you can't unsee it. And it's marked that way on every single card. So it doesn't matter if they take a card from the top, they take a card from the middle, they take cards from the bottom. Every single card is marked that way. So now you know how to read my marked deck. If I ever decide to use this, and I promise I won't, you'll catch me right away.